Let's see, blueprint spline. Construction script. So this is just the spline itself. Gotcha. And then this is move forward at a constant speed. Got your run speed, distance along spline. Oh, get world location at distance. So these probably need to be changed. I believe this node is depreciated. Distance spline. Oh, I'm gonna need to do it from here. World location. Let's see. Get location at distance along spline. Coordinate space world. No problem. We'll get that fixed right up real quick. Yep, I'm actually the one that bugged that for the content examples because that needed to be fixed. I don't know if it has yet or not. It should, but I can't promise anything. Oh. Rotation, distance, location, world, distance, return value. Boom. Okay, so that part is fixed. Nice. Okay, so let's see. Well, it's not mine, but it's what I'm starting with. Okay, so you've got the constant speed here, which you had mentioned earlier. Let me scroll back up through the chat. And I need to add a start run speed key. Event trigger on. It's a quarter BP. Should be easy, but I can't get it set up. Okay, so let's hit play. Okay. Errors reported. Access none. Whee! Okay. Let's set just a few things here. Now, obviously this is kind of a not done. Just can't disable run speed until I want to start it. Oh, that okay, so let's see. I can tell you exactly what I would do in this case. Hit class settings, or sorry, class defaults. Tick enabled. Because let's see, because I'm guessing what you're wanting basically is the character not to move until you tell it to. Because your movement is based on tick, right here. I would literally just come in, hit class default, go start with tick enabled, uncheck it. And then when you decide to start it, so let's say you have another thing that starts it, right? Custom event, start game. All you'd have to do at that point is go set actor tick enabled. Boop. So that, if you do that, that should allow you to halt the movement until you are ready to go. Let me know if that either doesn't work or need clarification or whatever, and I'm more than happy to help. Yeah, but that way you don't actually have to change the run speed. You don't have to change. Yeah, that because you're specifically moving at tick, what you're basically doing, because you're setting the distance along spline by your run speed and distance along spline. So by disabling tick, you're running this once, so the set world location, which will set it at 0 because that's what you've told it to. So it sets the location at 0, sets the rotation, and then it just waits because it can't actually tick. So until you tell it to go, it doesn't go. And then all you should have to do is, let's say you wanted to run this if you press 1. So you press 1, you call start game. By calling start game, it will run set actor tick enabled. Or, conversely, you can have it set up to where just 1 sets actor tick enabled. Okay, so if you hit class defaults and then just come up to this search bar right here and type in tick enabled, it'll come up with start with tick enabled. Hold on. Scroll that out, and all you have to do is uncheck that checkbox, and it turns off tick on this actor until you tell it otherwise. And this is a really good thing to note for actors that you don't want tick on, because tick runs every frame, and the less things you have using tick, the better, typically. So you want to make sure, if an actor either doesn't need tick or doesn't need tick all the time, that you turn it off. That way it's not just constantly running and taking up your frame rate. That's unnecessary. Hopefully that makes sense. It's actually, many people that have been here before will probably tell you I hate tick. I absolutely hate tick. It is one of my least favorite things on earth, because people typically will use tick for things that they shouldn't, and it ends up, like in something like this, it's not going to be a big deal. Because when it's on, when it's a smaller scale like this, probably will be one of the few things you actually need tick for is the move speed, so that's fine. If it was something like 100 actors all pulling from tick at once, then it starts to become a problem, because then you're bogging down your frame rate, which is hardware dependent anyways, and so it just starts bogging down the system more and more and more and more and more, and there are more efficient ways to do it than trying to run tick. So I rarely, unless I need to, will use tick for things. This case, perfect. This is exactly what it would be good for. But let's see. Yep, right here. So set actor tick enabled. And so this is how I would set it up, but that's because I want to be able to, like, I like to access this in other ways, or you can toggle it on and off and stuff like that. So that's how I would do it. And let's see, another thing that we can work on, playing around with portals, which we've already done. I can show that off again, at least to the point that we've gotten so far. It's a bit more complicated than I thought it would be. I still haven't figured out some of the portions of it that, frankly, are just scary. And let's see, tracing from player's view, mouse look would do, 3D widget and gaze-based interaction. I actually don't know if 3D widgets work with gaze, or 3D widgets work with line traces. I think that may have been one of the unfortunate limitations right now of 3D widgets, until we can get something set up with them. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. Thank you, Bloody Bobby. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that worked. Alright, so let's see. Let me, which project did I have it in? I believe it was in First Person Gun Stuff. Let's hit don't save on that. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad I can get you on your way and moving forward with your project. Oh, I am super sleepy, and definitely coming off of a crash. I made the mistake again of 6 shots of espresso, 2 chocolate covered espresso beans, a full throttle, a sweet tea, and I'm pretty sure I had other caffeine sources today. All to make it through the day, because I got no sleep last night. Let's see. So, what was I showing? Oh, portals. Portals, yes. I have to remember how to call them. So, this is one of the projects we've been working on. It has quite a bit. I got a bunny hop in here, got a key code system where it actually will light up based on which keys you press first, which I think is E. No. Okay. Q and E are my portals. Okay. So they actually technically work, as you can see. The problem is they don't like the code I have put in to get them to properly face based on where they hit. So as you can see, like if I move this, it kind of pops you out in the middle there. And this wall is a bit different, so because that wall I actually have a whole different script thing set up for. Whoop. And that's our conversation thing. So, and it's getting distracting in here. I need to actually break off those so they only last a little bit. But we have so many cool things in here. Let me go back to, where are my portals? Portals. Betcha I have to do, did I put it in my character? View stuff. And then there was event hit, which was the applied radial damage timers, switch fire mode, spawn projectile, movements, possess. What's this? What's my possession mechanic? Oh, that's where I go and possess other pawns. Okay, cool. Which, just in case you were curious, is, let's say I have a second first person character in here. I hit this, run around, where did I put that guy? Right there. I hit G. I am now that guy. Bloop. So, that one's pretty cool. If you have like a possession mechanic or something, like, I could see that being used in either Dishonored or, like, let's say you're some demon or something going around, you need to possess somebody, and you're like, oh, yep, possessed. Then you can just destroy this actor, or ragdoll it if you're like, your whole thing is possessing human. That would be a cool game. Like if you're a mischief maker, like an imp or something, and your whole goal, so let's say your whole goal was to possess an actor. Boom, you go around, start making mischief, and there's a trouble meter, right? And you have to try and possess a different character, and the first one ragdolls and kind of passes out while the teacher, while the thing's looking. I think that would be a pretty fun mechanic to use. Well, here, I'll go over possession real quick. That way, you have it available, Bloody. Let's see. So, possess. The way I've got it set up is, and possession is actually incredibly easy. There's only one thing that I always recommend doing. Exactly, like feigning sheep, where you like they just kind of fall over after you leave them, or you could give them some kind of confusion behavior or all kinds of stuff. I think there's a lot of room for growth there. But the way this one is set up is you go from the first person camera, since we're in a first person game, and you set that as the start point. So it starts so it starts right at the player's camera. And then you go out 1,000 units from the camera based on the camera's rotation. Add that to the world location, and that's your end. And you're checking only for pawn. So, in this case, I'm only checking for pawn. There are other instances that you can check for other things, and I'll explain that in a minute. But you go out, check. If it hits something, it breaks the hit result and goes, what's the hit actor? Are you of type first person character? But this could be, has interface, can be possessed. Whatever. But after that, it's literally, you take whatever actor it is, possess. That's all it takes.